Peanut Butter Gamer, JonTron, The Completionist, Did You Know Gaming, The Rest. These are all members of the popular content syndicate, Normalboots. Now, normally I'd call them an organization, but when you say organization in the creator sphere, you think of like OTK, 100 Thieves, FaZe, The Rest. And Normalboots really isn't like that. The Normalboots official channel, where they all officially made content with each other, didn't really go up until well past first prime, and believe me, we're gonna talk about the Normalboots channel. It really was just a group of friends that, well, were all featured on the Normalboots website and sort of collabed sometimes and pointed other people to their content. Normalboots was basically a website and just a bunch of guys who wanted to make videos similar to each other. Now, there are the golden members of Normalboots, and there are some who have maybe done a little bit more wrong. I shouldn't waffle on too long. Let's just jump into it. From what I can tell, Peanut Butter Gamer and JonTron, both Screw Attack employees at the time, in 2010 made a website called Normalboots so they could make a, and I quote, video gamer show heaven, and essentially just had Normalboots as a content portal to their videos. Then basically, time passed, some people joined, some people left, they shut themselves down, they revived themselves, they lost relevancy, they tried to revive themselves again, they died, they tried to revive themselves again, and here we are now. Now, before we really get into it, there are some members we won't be talking about, but they were only really into organization for like 2 to 3 months. So like, let's just, let's get into it. It's weird that my room is at the top of this building. That's kind of odd. And why am I wearing new clothes? Oh well. I'm gonna be honest, the reason I started this video is because I thought, hey, 3 of my favorite YouTubers are part of this group. Peanut Butter Gamer, Brutal Moose, and Space Hamster. And then I found out Brutal Moose and Space Hamster were both part of Hidden Block, and I don't want to make a video about them, I'd rather die! This video is split up into 4 sections. The official Normalboots channel, the good, the bad, and the ones I don't really care about. Now, I could do them in order, but if I did that, I'd probably be talking about Peanut Butter Gamer for 20 minutes, and then I'd lose steam on everything else. So we're gonna start with the last one of those 4, with the ones I don't really care about. What the heck? Now, at first I thought Normalboots consisted completely of game reviewers, because, like, that's a game reviewer, that's a game reviewer, that's the game reviewer right there. But Jadtronic is none of those things. He actually sorta mainly does react stuff and actually barely talks about video games on his main channel. Now, when it comes to reactions, I can forgive a smaller channel doing a reaction because, like, you're trying to grow. That's what you're trying to do. But if you have 68 videos reacting to silly, weird commercials and you have 800,000 subscribers, you better be adding a pretty substantial amount to that content.
So, Ken...
You want a banana?
No thanks.
Sorry, Ken, I don't want your banana, man.
His first video on the channel is called Glitching Hey You Pikachu. I wonder where he got that idea from. His skills as a reactor are subpar at best. That's your contribution. This is my contribution, okay? Top 10 react moments ever. He sorta just goes, wow, guys. This thing that I'm reacting to is kinda crazy.
Wow. Well, obviously that commercial is very short, so...
Wow. He made a video with PBG, but it's really weird because these lines were clearly recorded, like, far apart from each other, and PBG is actually barely in it, and I feel like they want us to think that they were recorded at the same time, but whatever. When it comes to him unpacking products, I haven't watched that many videos of him doing that because we have 9, count them, 9 more creators left. But if you want to watch someone open a product and say some pretty funny things while doing it, I'm sure that there are at least 100 creators that could do it better than him, because oh my god, that market is so saturated. The first person that popped into my head that could do this 20 times better than him is Drew Gooden. Like, he doesn't hold a candle. Now in the modern day, he's sort of stopped being little baby funny kid humor.
Okay, I'm gonna take this off. There's no way in heck.
And also he's sort of okay at reacting to videos. Now, still didn't make me laugh.
Alexa, turn on the new meme zone.
He apparently owns like a company, but that's too big of a can of worms to open. The content on the Chadtronic channel is fine. His old content is actually pretty fun to watch because of how not adept he is at reacting.
That goat just wink? So if you buy those glasses, goats will wink at you.
I just feel like furthermore you could say that, what? Did that goat just wink? But just So the thing about Proton John is I don't have a whole lot to say. Like, here's the issue. He's definitely more intentionally funny than Chadtronic is, and in his early videos, he is literally the pinnacle of old internet humor.
What? Is that forklift humping that robot?
And his first Let's Play video on YouTube was uploaded 4 months after the first Let's Play was ever posted onto the internet, so that's pretty cool. The problem is he has a lot more to him than what I just researched on my own, and I know this for a fact, but if you're going to ask me, Gug, why aren't you gonna watch 80 videos for this creator? Even though there's 9 other creators left, why don't you watch 80 videos worth of research? I think the only thing I could say to you would be, fuck you. Let's just stick to his solo Let's Plays for now. To be honest, the only Let's Players I really watch nowadays is Nepesta and like a little bit of Oni Plays. And the thing I like about them is that they're not always just talking about the game, they'll talk about something that happened in their life, or be making jokes, or be doing bits, or be having fun. I feel like the old style of Let's Play, where it's like, we're gonna do the Let's Play and we're just gonna talk about how we're playing the game, and oh my god, is it the Bite of 87? I feel like it's sort of died out. Because usually I'm not there for the game we're playing, I'm there for the person. But Proton John is still a legend because he was making Let's Plays in 2007, and Jesus Christ, I was 2. Honestly, not too much more to say about him. Yeah, I'd say he's generally a better content creator than Chadtronic, but I just feel like I'd have more to say if I watched more of his videos, and if you're going to ask why I'm not going to do that, read the title of the chapter. He made a few game review vids that I don't really need to talk about because they're not funny, so it sort of just feels like watching IGN, and he only made like 6 of them. Obviously, he's gotten funnier as the years went on, him and every other content creator. Verdict, pretty okay. But get these other content formats out of here. Normalboots is an organization about gamers and game reviewers, god damn it. Lady Pelvic is the only woman in Normalboots. Surprising, I know. Before anything, I need to show you this clip from her introduction video.
First question. Besides Link, which video game character, male or female, gets your panties the most wet?
No. Oh my, no. In her older content, she's pretty rigid and awkward and everything in between. And I know this because she reminds me of me when I recorded content even as early as like 2021. Like when you write a joke down and you're very rigid and stone-faced for the entire video, but then you go to perform the joke and then you go back to being completely stone-faced for the rest of the video. I think it's important to know that she came into the scene in 2014, mid-Gamergate, when Anita Sarkeesian was destroying all of gaming as we know it. So it's pretty surprising to see how positive the comments under her videos are. And I expected to have this cynical outlook and be like, she's not that great. But honestly, as I continued to watch her videos through the years, I realized she's pretty good. She's not my favorite game reviewer, but on a list of V's free, I definitely put her at the top. She's funny, insightful, I love how much she talks about music, cause it's like, that's important, and some people are just like, I don't need to talk about it. She didn't talk about Celeste in her 2018 recap, even though she claims to be a platformer fan, and that's fine. It just means she's a fake gamer, okay? It doesn't matter that she didn't even talk about Celeste and mention Celeste in 2018. I'm not mad! 2 thumbs diagonal. Now, before I move on, I should say, I know there's a lot more to these people than the few videos that I watched. I'm sure if I watched more of Proton John's or Lady Palvik's videos, I could come here with a more insightful take. But, again, read the title of the chapter. I don't dislike these people. I don't care enough to get to know them better. Even if I liked Lady Palvik, don't care to get to know her better. I'm sorry, I'm sure you're nice, but sorry. It's also a complete coincidence that the 3 of these people are the newest addition to Normalboots when they tried to reboot in 2021. Anyways, let's talk about a more fun topic. Well, this isn't very fun. You know, the reason I had this cap on originally is because I wanted to be sort of like a judge, but it's irritating my head. Yeah, I graduated. What of it? I don't have a gavel, so, you know, I got a hammer. You know how it is. Now, when I say bad, I'm mostly talking about the Normalboots creators who have gotten into extremely intense controversies, some of which have caused them to leave the organization. Now, I say mostly because, I don't know, I'm feeling my beard mode come on. Creator number 1, JonTron. Oh, no. JonTron is the biggest member of Normalboots by a large margin. He's one of the co-founders and originally wrote the About Us section in the original Normalboots website in 2011. But then in 2017, he took to Twitter to defend Steve King of Iowa. Leftist debate streamer Destiny then called him onto stream to debate him, and instead of going in depth on what he said, I just want to read a list of notes that I took while watching the stream. To be honest, I went into this just watching JonTron's apology video thinking it won't be that bad, and then after I watched it I was like, oh, it really was that bad. Please know that I made my best attempt not to just write down a bunch of out of context BS that he said. He was all over the place during the stream, so watch it yourself and then agree or disagree with me. White people have nothing / very little to do with the disproportionate representation of black people in prisons. Jim Crow laws shouldn't affect minorities today because that's the past. JonTron would never say all black people are irresponsible. That's ridiculous. He's just saying that whites shouldn't be okay with becoming a minority in the country that their ancestors built because other countries don't do that. White people shouldn't be responsible for black people's actions. Have they no agency? Japan is a model society. Trump is a reaction to the politics of the last 4 years. White supremacist and racist is a slur. No nation can exist without a demographic majority. He means racial demographic. Italians, Polish, and Irish probably would be considered white 100 years ago. The idea that they wouldn't is a myth. Some illegal Mexican immigrants commit crime, and even though it could be said that some white people commit crime, the fact that they're illegal makes it that the US is importing crime. There is no data showing immigrants commit more crimes. JonTron is not arguing that whites should remain the majority in the United States. He's arguing that whites are not being allowed to speak up against their demographic oblivion. Kinda clashes with the no nation can exist without a demographic majority, doesn't it? Mass migration is basically colonization. Mexicans are trying to take back parts of America. Wealthy blacks commit more crimes than poor whites. Mexicans immigrating into the United States will make it Mexico again, and then future legal Mexican immigrants will not like that because they wanted to get out of Mexico. Mexicans want to move to America for better handouts and welfare. He never said that Mexican immigrants are all on welfare. The fact that he didn't use all in the previous statement makes this technically true and therefore infallible. Mexicans generally don't have any long-term investments in America. When you bring a bunch of workers who are willing to work for less, the living standards of the country are lowered. Destiny immediately refutes this. Immigration benefits the global elites only. Yeah, because Italians have done nothing for America, right? If brown people assimilated to American culture, they'd still enter the gene pool and, you know, if immigrants assimilated, it wouldn't be bad for white people to become a minority. We have gotten rid of discrimination entirely. Holy fucking shit. The fallout of this was pretty big at the time. He lost a bunch of brand deals and a voice role in the game Yooka-Laylee, and then he posted an apology. And I'm gonna give it to you in a nutshell because honestly, just watch the damn video, it's under 5 minutes long. He basically said he didn't properly prepare and said a bunch of bad stuff in the heat of the moment. He said he was trying to speak to the increasing tribalism of our society, which honestly kind of weirds me out because like the entire stream, he was saying immigration can't work because of tribalism, and how he was specifically arguing against mass immigration. He did not say this term once in the entire stream. He basically said he wishes he had more time to prepare, and he probably doesn't believe most of the stuff he said during that stream. Now, I will give it to him, it was refreshing to hear him say he sucks at debate after listening to him being so smug for an hour and a half. So we basically have two options here. One, he fucked up so bad and didn't have any statements prepared, so he basically decided spewing horseshit was a better idea than conceding the debate or losing, and basically decided an adequate apology was just being like, yeah, I probably don't believe any of that stuff anyway, so I'm sorry I said all that stuff. Whoops. Or two, he believes in everything he said and literally just did this to save face and stay out of politics for the rest of his internet career. Or at least just try to be more subtle. I gravitate towards two for a few reasons. He starts out the video really annoyed that articles are misconstruing everything he says, and then goes on in the video and basically says, I basically don't believe most of the stuff I said, so we're not misconstruing everything. They're drawing a conclusion and not assuming you're just speaking for the sake of it. He also makes the point that he wasn't prepared for the stream, and I'll give you rich blacks commit more crimes than poor whites, but a lot of things he reiterated throughout the stream, like how whites should remain a majority, or how Japan is a model society, or a number of other things that I couldn't write down because he was so scatterbrained. And at the end of the day, you still could have called a timeout, or conceded the debate, instead of spewing a bunch of bullshit, because at the end of the day, even if you don't believe what you said, it still affected people. So I don't really think I can stomach talking about JonTron's silly goofy videos after listening to him spew / pull 2017 Ben Shapiro owned bullshit for an hour and a half. I just want to say, it sucks that bad people can create good content, and there's probably a certain celebrity that popped into your mind, and I've had the same debate with myself about them too. It sucks that someone can make something that's so good and funny, and then by watching it you're funding someone who says all this bullshit. I honestly really like JonTron's content, but I might have a hard time getting back into it because every second I'll be watching him, this will be in the back of my mind.
I still haven't got my scissors yet.
Wealthy blacks also commit more crime than poor whites.
Oh, that is true. That's objective fact.
Before I get off this topic, I just want to say I'm some 18-year-old who doesn't really have any stake in debate or politics, so if you want a more nuanced take about this, watch this video by the Cavernical. He actually made 2 of them. Yeah, I don't know much. I am just making the opinions I have formed from watching the stream, and don't kill me. Please don't stick me to a cross. Don't kill me, please. Well, let's get the next guy in here.
7th grade girls in the shower.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's do this one quick. In 2019, Pro Jared was accused of soliciting nudes from minors and cheating on his wife. Jared then made a 42-minute long rebuttal video basically saying that he was in an open relationship, and anytime he talked about nudes on his Tumblr, he very specifically said many times he only wanted news from people 18 plus. This raises two very clear problems. One, even if ProJared didn't pursue people for news, anything like that, he still holds a large amount of power over his fans, and if you're a parasocial psychopath and you found out you could send your news to ProJared and he'd reply with some shit like, "Oh, holy cannoli, you're a smoke show," it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. More importantly, he makes content that a lot of minors watch. You shouldn't be surprised that you're getting news on your 18 plus Tumblr form from minors if you make videos about games and shit that kids like. It's like if Cocomelon was like, okay, go on to cocofreaky.com and send me nudes, but only if you're 18 plus. It's weird, but my conclusion, not that bad. So the content. It's pretty good. He starts out his career sounding like the nerdiest person in the world.
Instead, our weekend consisted only of pain, betrayal, and psychological torment that continues to this day. You'll see why.
But his content progresses from a boring game reviewer who says like free jokes to someone who can fully hold my interest for 17 minutes, which nobody else we've talked about so far has been able to do. It feels like maybe he's borrowing a little bit of thunder from other Normalboots creators. This easily could have been a JonTron video, but it's unique enough. I still got my eye on you though. He's really into D&D, and I mean, that's kinda cool, but like, I'm not a nerd, so I don't really care about D&D too much. Like, imagine like a world where it's like, oh, my most popular video is about a D&D show. It's like, oh, that's crazy. What am I, a fucking nerd? I make YouTube videos. I'm the coolest motherfucker on the planet! He has this nerdy charisma to him, which makes him enjoyable to listen to while doing something else, which is usually the context that I'm watching my creators. But in my opinion, he just doesn't hold a candle to any of the other top shelf Normalboots creators. But let me not downplay, he's easily the funniest person we've talked about so far, barring that other guy. Let's stop talking about bad situations and talk about some good old-fashioned bad content. The Completionist is the worst stuff I've had to watch for this video, and also maybe any video I've ever made, to the point that even if I'm watching a video about a game that I'm interested in, all I want to do is hear MatPat talk about it, but then the Completionist bursts in and just talks for so long.
So let's get right into it. Like previous titles, this game has you checking cameras and making sure that your animatronic enemy doesn't reach the security room, because that spells the end for you. The real difference here is that unlike Bottom 922, the third game manages to make using the camera system absolutely necessary. Originally, the camera was useful on 922, maybe 3, but became also useful on I'm looking at you, Camera 10. You know what you did, or didn't do. No.
He talks on and on about things that don't matter in the slightest. He plugs his gaming channel in this Mario Maker video 3 times! Speaking of this Mario Maker video, he had this idea that revolved around the 9-day release feature of Mario Maker, which Nintendo did once. And basically he'd vlog his progress day by day with the items he'd have, and we'd be able to see his improvement as he got introduced to more items and more variety into his Mario levels. And I thought, this is actually a really creative idea. So then he starts out his first vlog section by plugging his gaming channel, obviously, and then he just does a time-lapse of him opening all of his amiibos, and then his voiceover comes in and says, now I remember why I'm so bad at vlogging. And that's the only vlog section. There is no second vlog section. That good, creative idea is just lost for a throwaway bit that wasn't funny. Oh, look at me! I opened all my amiibos! Now I know I am so bad at vlogging. Fuck you! Fuck. And then as I continued to watch his videos, I started to kind of like it. Like in the Superman 64 video, he has this really fun manic energy that isn't the best thing I've ever seen, but it's not as bad as the other stuff I found. Have I been underrating him this whole time?
Guys, I figured out Five Nights at Freddy's. Hear me out. I figured it out, okay? The wolf from Titus Software is freaking Foxy.
If I were to graph out my enjoyment of the videos, and no one's asking me to, it would look a little something like this. His content is basically just him talking and talking and talking, and then one of the worst jokes you've ever heard in your entire life.
You end up amassing a respectable army of floral annihilation and allergies because his unarmed combat skills are banana pants insane. Spartan Rage makes a triumphant return too, and you know what? Even that has a skill tree. It's like Oprah dropped by and said, you get a skill tree, you get a skill tree.
And then he goes back to talking and talking and talking and talking. The one thing that I will give him props for is getting all the golden strawberries in Celeste. But I think if this came out after Farewell, this would be a very different video. Well, if nothing else, if he's not good, at least I can say he seems like a very nice, cool, nice, genuine guy. Like super beard mode. That's not very beard mode. I genuinely did find this out in the middle of writing this section because I was like, I know he did something. I know there was like something that went on with him. But like, I don't know, maybe it's not that bad. And then, instead of discussing this at length, I'm just gonna say he's fully in the wrong here. And instead of taking the opportunity he had to apologize, he instead threatened the people that exposed him for this and tried to manipulate his audience by saying a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. Look, I've noticed that his new videos are littered with dislikes, but if you look in the comments section, you can't find very many negative comments. Man, this lack of negative comments definitely means he was probably in the right, and I don't think there's any other explanation for this. You know, to prove that he's definitely in the right, I decided to comment, I don't know about you guys, but I'd trust this guy with $600,000 any day of the week. And as I am recording this, the comment is still up, and actually the most liked comment on the entire video. But, editing me, please insert right here if he deleted it. Hello. I know I'm not properly lit because if you didn't know, I'm actually right by a window. But editing Gug doesn't have to be properly lit. That's not a characteristic of editing Gug. So now I was hoping, as I was editing this part of the video, I was like, oh, I'm gonna look up this comment and it's gonna be deleted. And it was the most liked comment, so I would be like, yes, dude, Gerard, the completionist guy, is just taking people's comments, he's throwing them in a dumpster trash grinder, and then I checked on it and yeah, it was still up. I even left a backup comment that he might also delete because it was more direct and to the point, and he still didn't delete that. I don't think that proves anything though, because the comment that I left and got 208 likes, I'm pretty famous actually, wasn't actually showed in the comment section example. That was in his newest video, and it suffered from literally what I just described. No negative comments, mostly positive, neutral, ambiguous, talking about the video. But his old video got a lot of hate comments. It's and they were all very recent. They all started just as I commented, like right around that time. And I think this is because Gerard is smarter than we give him credit for, even though that apology video was the most ass video in the world. I think it's not just a straight up, we delete anything that has these specific keywords in it that are like, fuck you, or screw you, you stupid little poopy face. Anything that gets that, we carpet bomb it. I don't think it's like that. I think it's more like the first week of uploading is just killing anything. It's killing anything, so the initial comment section isn't a terrible place of hatred, because like, why would we hate on this guy? There's no reason to. There's no reason to hate on him. I am not the slightest bit convinced, even though we compared video to video, not close convinced. I give the completionist the rating of donated. Yeah, fuck you. I use your skill against you, you little troglodyte. I rescind my congratulations on the golden strawberries. The only reason I haven't done it is because I'm bad. It wasn't very beard mode when you decided to withhold donation from dementia patients, you fucking hack. I'm in France right now, so that accounts for the change of scenery. You know, I'm holding my microphone, got my water bottle. I guess you could say I'm like a true stand-up comedian. You know, what's the deal with France. Should have said, what's the deal with Normalboots? I'm so stupid. Under normal circumstances, normal, get it? Do you get it? I would just continue the video because I don't need to intro for this video, because what more do I need to introduce? But you know what? I have something to say. Normalboots.com is down, which in my opinion means that Normalboots no longer exists. This website that has been up for 13 years, what Normalboots was based around, is just gone now. That's wild. And what's more wild is it went down in the middle of me making my first video. I didn't want to kill him. I didn't want to do that. I originally wanted to do a segment about the website, and this seems like a pretty good place to do it. Originally, the website was just a content portal for Normalboots. It was really what Normalboots was based around, with just this website where you could see PBGs and JonTrons and then other people's videos after that. You know, you could connect with people on forums and stuff. A true early internet haven. In 2024, before it shut down, Normalboots was just a shop where you could buy shirts and stuff. So, if we take the idea that the website is what the core feeling of Normalboots, what the core message of Normalboots is supposed to be, it went from come and connect with your content creators and with other people who like the same stuff, like our stuff, and you know, just come and have a good time. It went from that to fuck you, give us money. Hey, buy a shirt. And it doesn't even matter anymore because now it's gone. So to honor the final frontier falling, let's finish this out. Now I may have mischaracterized Normalboots in the first video, given the fact that I only really talked about the bad to pretty okay creators. That might have been because the video was just getting way too long to do in 1 month, or maybe it's because my most popular video was me being negative on something for 18 minutes. Or maybe it's because part 1 was definitely just getting way too long. Now, when I filmed part 1, I expected Chad Strong to be the most different Normalboots creator because he's only talked about games like twice on his main channel and only really does reactions. And then I saw Did You Know Gaming. Here's a short list of what makes Did You Know Gaming way more different than every other Normalboots member. 1. In all of the videos I watched on his channel, I did not hear his voice once. If you couldn't tell, his videos are just basically miscellaneous video game facts presented by various guest hosts that range from Egoraptor to Jarvis Johnson. The only reason I know the guy who owns the channel's name is because I looked it up. It's Shane Gill. 2. There is no attempt at comedy in the entire channel. I watched 25 videos. No one attempted to make a joke. It is just pure, unfiltered knowledge straight to the dome. I mean, it's fine. The tidbits and factoids I learned were good. I can't really review an educational channel the same way I can a dramatic or comedic channel, cause what am I supposed to say? Man, that factoid was pretty fun. And what clips am I supposed to cut to? This?
Undertale's concept of befriending monsters rather than killing them was largely inspired by the demon recruiting mechanic from the Shin Megami Tensei series. This mechanic allows players to negotiate with their enemies.
No! And the third thing that makes them different than any of the other Normalboots creators is that in the 11 years they've been making this show, they have not switched up the format. I guess the closest thing to switching formats they've done is making their videos a little bit longer, and then now at the end they do a random fact from another video to shout out their other videos. But yeah, that's it. Hey, let's pad the runtime. I mean, let's do a very necessary segment where we rank the guest stars that were on the show. D. Not terrible, but it was really short considering the amount of info they clearly had because there are a lot more Pokemon ones. C. This guy I actually know. Egoraptor is someone who I have never really cared about too much, but he did fine in presenting these funny little factoids. B. Don't know who this guy is, but he did fine. A. I just think I love J-Wits too much.
Come on, come on! Stop it! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! No!
E. This guy was just kind of boring. C. Listen, I like Markiplier, but I've been trained against his voice saying anything informational because of AI. Because I'm usually used to Markiplier being more like this.
Kitty, what are you doing down here? Did I not see you before? Oh, you're so Portuguese.
And if you want to tell me that's biased, fuck you, I never said I wasn't biased. Would be a 5 out of 10, but I liked his silly little voices.
I don't recall your name, but your fez is familiar.
B. Again, I am biased. This just feels like a MatPat FNAF game theory, but instead of being told that Michael Afton is a robot, I'm being told basic information that I already know, because I was like 10 when FNAF 4 released, so I had already succumbed to the brain rot. D. Yeah, that's very interesting. C. Yummy knowledge. Fuck you, Ross, for your Mario Maker levels. B. Did I know Undertale? Yes. Yes, I did. Post the rest in C, I don't care. You wanna know something? I actually didn't watch Did You Know Gaming in part 1 when I was originally making this video, because I just assumed he was gonna be good because he has so many subscribers. And he is. I like his videos. Definitely no other section I can put him in, because I care about him a lot. Yup. Didn't jump the gun at all. Satchbag! Do you know Satchbag? No? Probably because he has 80,000 subscribers and hasn't made a video in 2 years. Satchbag is particularly interesting to me. And if you know his content, you probably don't, you'd probably be confused because the only thing I've done so far in this video is complain about how I can't talk about non-comedic, educational content because of reason. But my appeal towards Satchbag comes from his delivery and his production value. When listening to Did You Know Gaming, every voice I recognized felt strange to listen to because it didn't feel like them. It felt like they were presenting a high school slideshow. Markiplier usually doesn't speak with an educational tone, and when he does, I feel like it's an AI chatbot. Because it's so not him. Satchbag doesn't have that problem because even though he rarely cracks a joke, I was still engaged because I didn't feel like I was listening to a TTS algorithm of my favorite creators explain Chrono Trigger to me. It felt like a person was, because they were. And it's when hearing his unique delivery that I can appreciate the insight and analysis. He has this intonation that makes me want to listen compared to nerdy guys saying sarcastic remark.
We fell into the hype.
Many people did the same to you, Jared. I still would have preferred a little bit more humor because even though I like his analysis of Hotline Miami, please remember I am an idiot and I need metaphorical keys jingling in my face, or else I'm not going to be interested in my video essays. Put some Subway Surfers on the side at least. Now I don't think good lighting makes a video good. Hell, I don't even think he came into his own until like 2017. But if this fucking video doesn't make me feel something, I'll get back to you on what exactly, but damn. He makes this 720p video looks like it's filmed in 4K, and honestly, I'm extremely impressed. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if this higher production value actually was a detriment to his growth. Given the scene in 2014, and also the fact that he was in company with a lot of creators who didn't really prioritize production, it wouldn't surprise me if audience saw this more unnecessary than impressive. And then he fell off the face of the internet. At least that's what I thought until he didn't. Yeah, it turns out he's just leading a normal ass life and just isn't a YouTuber anymore. I even had this investigative section in my video where I tried to look up like, where did he go? What happened? Why did he leave the internet? But I decided to take it out because it's kind of strange, and he's also just some guy. Like, no need to chronicle his disappearance from the internet. And also, he didn't disappear. Turns out some chicanery just happened. He truly was way ahead of his time when talking about video game analysis and internet stuff. I mean, look at the top bread tubers nowadays. I think his biggest detriment was that he was in Normalboots, because he's about 10 times closer to H-Bomber Guy than he is to Chadtronic. I think if he started in around 2019, he could have easily thrived, but the universe will play out as it does, I guess. Also, watch his short film if you want a sense on how good this guy is at producing stuff. It's really good. I'm getting very bored recording this video. Should I continue? Like the channel? like the Normalboots channel. Continue is a video game channel where three guys who have evidently been chosen to represent the early 2010s play a janky-ass video game for like 10-20 minutes and then ask themselves, should we continue playing or should we not? And it's all hypothetical because they never continue playing because that's the show. So it's basically a Let's Play channel masquerading as a video game show because of the 20 seconds at the end where they're like, hey, was that game good and we should continue? And also they do regular Let's Plays which are almost indistinguishable from the regular show. I'll kill you! No, not that regular show. That was very funny, wasn't it, guys? Guys, if you like that joke, it's a new segment. Except for the fact that they actually play good games in the Let's Play series. And honestly, I like them. They have a very good rapport. There is a detriment to the 2010 humor that they display because I never watched them, so I don't have nostalgia, so it's just cringy.
Look at her boobs! Oh my gosh, so much boobs, no waste.
The three hosts are Paul, Nick, and Dom. Paul, Nick, and Josh. Yeah, Dom left very early into the series, as in, I only watched one episode with Dom. There is this pretty funny bit where the new guy Josh is reading fan letters about him replacing Dom, but they're just full of verbal abuse.
Last question. You're not Dom, you sucking.
I feel like in a Let's Play group, you need to have variety. For example, in Oni Plays, I know I mentioned them in the last video, but they're the only video game group I know. I don't really care about angry game guys and like Hyper Ultra. There's Chris, who's the host of the show and sort of acts as a middle ground between Tomar and Zach. Tomar is this great guy who reacts to Zach's weirdness of him asking the most asinine hypotheticals in the world or going "ow" or something like that. But all of these guys can also fit in either role. Zach can be the straight man, Tomar can be the crazy guy. Let's look at these three guys and sort of categorize them. Well, obviously Paul has good hair. I mean, just look at him. Nick has the glasses, and Josh has the— God damn it! In the Super Mario 3 video, there's this really weird bit where they go into a Bizarro World version of the show and play a Mario 3 bootleg. This didn't amuse me as much as it confused me.
Me being a chick, I'm very terrible at this game.
But to redeem them, I think I might have found what is the best video ever. What? You never heard hyperbole before? This Normalboots crossover. Okay, so basically the three boys, they get kicked off of their show and they're sent to the street. So they decide to go to various members of Normalboots. Josh goes and has to dance for JonTron. Paul goes to Underbelly, who is one of those people that wasn't in Normalboots long enough for me to really care. Come on, dude. And Paul goes to PBG and the Completionist. Two opposite forces on the spectrum of charisma and acting prowess.
Dude, yeah, I have to agree with PBG on this one.
Freaking Foxy! Anyways, they go back to the office and, of course, do a double-fisted arm wrestling match to win back their show. Continue post Normalboots is actually an improvement because they don't do the old Let's Player thing where we talk about the game for the entire time. Now they actually talk about shit.
Toys suck now. I feel bad for kids.
They don't care because they just want to play iPhones.
They're basically like Only Plays if Only Plays wasn't filled with free people deeply scarred by the internet and old school newgrounds and constantly talk about diaper fetishes. I really like Continue. Not much more to say. They're really good, and they ended the humor drought I was on while researching this second part of the video. Did you know gaming and Snatchbag back to back does something to a man? Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend. The guy I have been talking up for the entirety of these past two videos. And also probably the only member of Normalboots you know except for the obvious. I might have played up exactly how funny his old videos were in my head because his really old videos, like the ones with the old Normalboots intro, they're dated as fuck. That might be because they literally are dated, but they're a far cry from this shrine of hilarity and awesomeness that I built up in my head. Hell, in this top 10 annoying things in video games video, you reused footage. You're not slick. But the moment you open up a top 10 video from this guy and see that classic picture where he's like, It's done. It's done. It's peak. These videos are just as funny as they were when I was a kid. Now again, I am biased. I'm probably doing what old-time fans of The Completionist and Pro Jared are doing, but I actually did watch a Completionist video when I was 9. It was the Mario Maker video, and I hate that video now. Goddamn, these videos just hit different compared to any other Normalboots creator. Oh yeah, what exactly does he do? The short answer is, I don't know, talks about video games. He sort of just looks at games, some good, some bad, some downright strange they are, and sort of uses that as a vice to make jokes. Look at this putt-putt video. An all-time classic, by the way. The reason he makes this video about putt-putt is because the FCC supposedly tells him he needs educational content on his channel. And that's just funny. I mean, look at this. He got copyright claimed on the video and muted it, so now it looks even dumber. I am probably playing up how good PBG really is. If you don't have nostalgia for him, you probably don't care. But I have spent the past month and a bit looking at 2014 Hubert being this.
And I mean, why not send a child on a perilous adventure? Just give him a sword, he'll be fine.
And then I watched PBG in 2014 and I'm presented with this.
Future PBG, fix that in post.
Okay, just gotta take the game here and put it there. Fill the transparent layer with a picture of a creepy pig I found on Google image search, and perfect!
Beautiful. This feels a lot less derived from early internet humor, as it seems to innovate on it. And I know by saying that I sound really pretentious and lame, but when watching these videos I can see like the roots of current day internet jokes. And then there's the lines that I'll just laugh at because I laughed at them as a kid.
They see me rolling and they are hating me. Oh man, this is like really boring actually.
And in the modern day, well, it's complicated. I think he's less funny than he was before. That's probably just my nostalgia bias. Like, his humor seems like the same as it was back then, but that's the problem. It's the same. You can only do the same bit where you explain a video game plot in a really weird and crazy voice and sayings things wrong, and then it gets really boring and stale after fucking 7 years. It's not even the thing of I've seen this before, it just feels like you've been doing the same humor for so long without innovating on it, and now it just is really stale. And I'm not saying none of his new jokes are funny.
Arthur, maybe you're under arrest. Oh no!
I'm not saying he fell off or anything. I mean, if you looked at his views, it might seem that way, but I just think he's not as funny as he used to be. I know, extremely bold take to be like, this old school YouTuber isn't as funny in the modern day as he was when he was making the videos that made him popular. I think something that contributes to my general less liking of his modern day videos is that they're just longer. Older YouTube videos are just shorter. That's just the way they were until the algorithm incentivized longer videos. But hey, I just naturally make videos this long, okay? I'm not doing it on purpose. I think if they were the same length they were in the past, they'd be as funny as they were before, but there's no monetary or views benefit that would come out of that, so I can see why he doesn't do that. Again, a massive disclaimer that's just gonna hang under both of these videos. I only watched like 10 to 20 videos from each creator, so my opinions on them are more or less half-baked. Sorry I didn't watch 80 videos from each creator. That's really hard to do. Only one more thing, and boy is it a doozy.
I also like to build brown bricks with Minecraft.
Right out of the gate, I will say this section surprised me the most, in ways both good and bad. I came into this not really knowing what the channel was like, but thankfully they had a Normalboots channel official trailer. So let's watch that together.
Normalboots co-founder Jontron Jafari left the group in 2016, which we announced in 2017. And although John isn't part of Normalboots anymore, you can still catch him on his own channel at the link below.
It's kind of weird that they do that. I mean, I know they're friends, but like, he says some pretty bad stuff. Don't know why you'd want to promote him.
We're posting our new show Madness here to make a tournament bracket and fill it with a set of games, films, or anything else really. Did You Know Movies peeks behind the scenes to reveal the most interesting facts about movies and TV shows in a similar style to Did You Know Gaming.
Okay, so the main thing is tournament brackets and movie facts. There was a third show mentioned in the trailer, but it only got 2 episodes, so was it really that important? I honestly enjoyed Madness far more than I thought I would. I mean, it's not the most revolutionary thing to have 4 30-year-old guys talk about old cartoons and movies, but it was enjoyable. I especially like that the first word that came out of Gerard's mouth made him sound like an absolute moron.
Super Mario 64 is a good game.
This seems like a pretty unfair.
You just came out and said Superman 64 is a good game?
Super Mario 64.
Oh, I heard.
Haha, fuck you, Gerard. The Movie Facts show is the same as Did You Know Gaming, but with movies. Those sure are facts, alright. There is a third show that came up a little down the line, and it's pretty fun. I watched 3 of these, and if I had to rank them, obviously, Gerard last. He's about 10 times more annoying here because he's drunk. I couldn't even finish it. It was just so meandering and boring. Then, PBG in second. He basically just shouts out a bunch of people, and it's pretty funny. And although I've barely heard him speak before, I like Shane explaining the Paper Mario because it's really funny. They took a 5-month break in the May of 2019 because of the obvious.
Look, I know we haven't uploaded in a while. Everybody knows there's reasons, and everybody knows why. Just go ahead and listen to this drunk video. At some point, we'll upload more videos, but not right now. Don't expect new videos right away. I'm just saying.
Well, it's a good thing they came back just in the right time. When they were ready to reboot in 2021, they were down to 3 members, so it made sense to recruit new people. They say they'd be doing more Madness further down the line, but they didn't. I guess they didn't last long enough. So we're left with 2 new shows, along with a new Movie Facts show, but I'm not going to talk about it again because it's just facts. There's Gamer Tiers and there's Minecraft Hardcore. Gamer Tiers is where a bunch of guys have to agree on a gamer tier list for like 3D Mario Bros. Or something, and you know, gamers are mad all the time, so obviously it gets heated. I would like this if it wasn't just so long. I don't think you need to take 40 minutes to do this. I think it could be condensed. And the Minecraft Hardcore, even though it is sort of like, you know, referencing the PBG Minecraft Hardcore, it's just, I'm sorry if this is controversial, it's just bad. The editing is really scrambled. Like, a weird thing they'll do is they'll have an avatar of one of the players' faces come up to explain, like, an emotion, which is actually a really good idea. I should start doing that. There's a moment in episode 1 where 2 girls go into a house in Minecraft, and one of the girls is like, oh my gosh, what do you think about John? Like, they're 2 high school girls at a sleepover.
Wait, real quick, since it's just us girls, let's talk about the boys. So
Yeah,
Luca,
yeah.
how do you feel about John?
And this clip overwhelmingly reminded me, these people are all 30. Why are you talking like this? Also, the proximity chat, especially in the first episode, makes it so that almost every conversation just has this background noise of a bunch of jumbled other people talking that actually isn't nice at all and actually sucks. And this time, Normalboots 2.0 fizzled out. Not because of a global pandemic, but because they just lost relevancy. I expected to not like Normalboots channel at all when getting into it. I was like, gamer tiers? Are you kidding me? But honestly, like, I liked them. Obviously, I liked Mark 1 of Normalboots channel more than I did Mark 2. Mark 2 felt a lot less corporate than I expected it to. It still felt really corporate, but it felt less than I expected. But it also just seemed like they were grabbing onto nostalgia and also trying to be like new school and hip. It was just quite strange. I don't think the content was awful, but it definitely wasn't good. I've said a lot of words throughout these 2 videos. Around 7,000, give or take. So let's quickly recap what I think about these creators. Chadtronic is a person that started out making reaction videos, and 800,000 subs later, he's still doing the same thing. I found his old videos endearing because of how bad they were, but let's just say he's not my favorite Normalboots member. Proton John is one of the first Let's Players ever, and now has a gamer group that sort of got fucked over by Chugga Conroy, and a successful Twitch career. The content is pretty okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of the old Let's Play style. Lady Pelvic started out as an extremely cringeworthy game reviewer to a pretty good game reviewer. I like her modern videos quite a bit. John Tron started out as the lovable goofball of Normalboots to someone I can only see as a racist piece of shit that's defended to absolute hell online. Now, I may not understand the nuances of everything he said, but I still know what he said was wrong, and he didn't apologize for it adequately. ProJair started out as a nerd and then was exposed for having a crazy taking advantage over fans Tumblr, which he has thrown off some of the accusations from him, but I think they're gonna follow him for the rest of his life. The Completionist started out as annoying and ended annoying. Yeah, I never really liked this guy, even before I found out that he embezzled hundreds of thousands of dollars from dementia patients. Did you know Gaming started out as a guy who got other people to say video game facts to 2 million subs later doing the same thing? I like his content, but as I already said, it's just knowledge. Sashbag went from a person who had really high production value video game analysis videos to getting gradually more entertaining as the years went on to sort of not making videos anymore. I wouldn't be opposed to him coming back, but I don't want to pressure him. Continue started out as a mildly enjoyable gaming group, which actually predates Game Grumps, to just a very enjoyable gamer group, if their content simply aged like fine wine. And PBG went from being a crazy influential ahead of his time content creator to being a creator of the current time by using his ahead of the time humor of the past. I mean, it's evolved a bit, but not much. I expected modern PBG to be a little bit more stale, but hey, I kinda liked it. It's the same quality as like a Saberspark video, but without all the furry porn. Before I summarize Normalboots as a whole, I want to list a few creators that I think could rest on their laurels comfortably. ProJared, The Completionist, John Tron, and Chad Tronic. I don't think you guys need to continue making videos. For the three people that I listed that suck, the reason I want you to stop making videos is you suck and you are a stain on the internet. But also, for all of you, I don't see your content evolving anytime soon, so. Normalboots went from a content portal for these two guys' content to an extremely creative, video game YouTube content hub, to a group of guys doing tournament brackets, to a slightly faker version of the previous iteration, to dying. I think the reasons they sort of died out is, one, they tried to start up again during COVID. I think the only show that people were sticking around for was Madness, and if you're not going to have that and you're just going to add 2 subpar shows, people aren't really going to watch it, and they really didn't. And 2, they added Chad Tronic. Now, I don't hate Chad Tronic. He's not my least favorite member of Normalboots. He's my second least favorite member of Normalboots, but that doesn't matter. I just don't think he fits the bill of a Normalboots creator. Let's take, for example, Drew Gooden. Him and Chad are kind of the same. Drew reacts to stuff. Drew has talked about games on his channel a few times before, and I really like Drew Gooden. Never in a million years would I think, hey, Drew Gooden would be a great fit for Normalboots. No! Why would you add Chad Tronic? It's just, he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. He's a fucking square peg. His gaming channel is mostly just unpackaging Pokemon cards. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. I guess the only way it does make sense is he's had a sort of collegial relationship with other Normalboots members in the past, but I've been talking for so long, so I should probably...
Like sloppy, like sloppy, like sloppy, like sloppy, like sloppy, like sloppy.
It would be disingenuous to come on here and be like, man, I thought all of these guys would be A+ content creators, but they're not, so therefore the entire group is bad. I don't think all the content creators are the best, but before you shoot me, I think over half of them pass the line to the threshold of pretty good. I should clarify that the only Normalboots members currently are Peanut Butter Gamer, The Completionist, Chad Tronic, Lady Pelvic, Proton John, and Did You Know Gaming. The rest of them I talked about this video left. I personally think the old Normalboots cast had a lot more talent than the new one, but honestly, I just think it's time to end it. And it seems like it already has with the website going down and everything else. A website that has survived for 13 years without going down once officially went down. It's over. It's just done. I think it's pretty safe to say that I'm a Normalboots expert by the end of this video. Except I'm not. I only watched 36 hours of content, and that's not enough. I need to know the intricacies of every one of these creators, so I'll strike a deal. When/if I hit 1 million subscribers, I will make a new video about Normalboots where I watch 10 videos per years of that channel existing. For example, PBG's first public video was made 14 years ago. That's 140 videos just for him. But wait, there's more. If this video gets 100k likes, I'll do their gaming channels too. But wait again, because one more offer. If this video gets 20 million views, I will include Hidden Block. Now you might be saying, Gug, those are pretty lofty goals, and my response to that is, I know. I don't want to do this. Researching this video was so hard. I spent 6 hours alone watching The Completionist, and I think I've made it pretty clear how much I don't like that guy. I was even going to do a 100 million views tier where I would watch every single video that every single channel ever made, but then I calculated it out, and that would be half a year of non-stop Normalboots. And I certainly won't promise that. I don't know what to say, you come up with the conclusion. And in the end, we learned that Normalboots was good, but not the best group ever. I don't know, I want to enjoy France. One last fuck you, John, Gerard, and Jared. They're gonna take you back to the past or present, depending on which video, to play the shitty good or okay games that are games they'd rather have. A buffalo. Pet it. They're not really angry. They'd rather eat a nice meal with beer. They're the normalest boots you ever heard. They're the normal Nintendo boots. They're the normal Atari Sega, also every other boots. They're the normal boots. Oh, you guys thought you were done listening to me? No. You have to listen to everything I say. And being a YouTuber, I always have something to say. I'm not bringing the mic out to a random field. I don't want to do that. You got the mic for an hour already, okay? You can live with some phone audio. Before we get into the outro and the stuff I know you guys love, where I talk about how making this video was and minor channel updates. I know you guys live for that, but there are a few things I need to address. Firstly, with The Completionist, in the last video, this section is officially null and void because I now have almost 100% proof that he did actually delete my fucking comment. I went onto my gaming account that I barely do anything on, and I wanted to prove my point, so I went to the comments. I think he might have actually deleted my comment. This is weird. Where's my comment? It was 1 month ago. If I Gug, it's 600k. No, nothing. But when I go onto my actual YouTube account, yeah, it's still there. It's still there. I think he deleted it. Case closed. Case closed, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Gug has won on this day. Gerard, the Completionist, is deleting comments. He deleted both of my comments. Fuck yourself, Gerard. It does seem like he turned off the filter for his newest video because it's just so much. So almost all of the okay comments. We gotta leave a comment about this. Vindication, motherfucker! Secondly, with Pro Jared, I said in the last video that what he did was not that bad. I'm going to retract that. What he did was that bad. Now, I could get into it. I could get into the specifics of it. I got into a little bit of the specifics in my video. I could talk about this for 10 minutes. I will spare you from it, though. What he did was that bad. I have seen internet arguments and people make points that I know I could refute, but I decide I'm not going to engage with these people because it's just going to make me mad. What he did was that bad. I don't regret putting him in the video because the two main aspects that went into taking JonTron out of the video was, obviously I didn't like what he was saying, but the other two things was I don't think I could really talk about his, content and be negative on it, and I wouldn't want to be positive about someone who I've just seen go on a highly opinionated racial rant for around an hour and a half. And to be like, JonTron, I know I like your videos, but the trash store called, they want their items back. It would just be disingenuous. Lastly, with JonTron, when talking about him and just in that entire section, I might have said a few things that sounded a little bit eh. Not things that were particularly bad, but when you hear them the wrong way, it goes eh. I am not a politically minded person, and I also don't know that much about immigration. It is supposedly a subject that has 1,000,000 shades of nuance behind every single aspect of it. Take everything I say here with a grain of salt. I should really get a...
Blah, blah, blah. Who cares about past Gov talking about stuff that was relevant to the time? So if you couldn't tell by the title and the text at the beginning and middle and by the description, this video is the full version of 2 parts of a video I made in early 2024. The only update I have for you guys is, for the last 3 weeks I've been uploading weekly. And that is going to stop after next week. There are 2 reasons for that. One, doing that is very hard, and I don't have the time for it, especially now that winter break is over. But 2, I don't think I'll ever be able to do weekly uploads because I don't generate ideas at a rate quick enough that I could be making videos weekly and generating ideas weekly. I don't think of ideas for videos quick enough for me to swing back. So to all the new people, don't worry, I'm still going to upload bi-weekly, and because the videos are going to be bi-weekly, I'm going to have more time to work on them, and then they're just going to be better. So yeah,